The observation deck of Station Helios buzzed with nervous energy as Commander Vex Thor watched the human approach Containment Bay 7. His four eyes blinked in rapid succession, a Carthian expression of extreme anxiety. "This is madness," he hissed through his translator. "That creature has killed 3 trained handlers. 3. And command sends us this?" The human in question was a slight woman named Leora Chun, barely reaching 5.5 feet tall, with dark hair pulled into a practical braid. She carried nothing but a small backpack and wore the simple jumpsuit of a civilian contractor. No armor, no weapons, no protective gear whatsoever. "The human comes highly recommended," offered Science Officer Daleth, though her tentacles writhed with uncertainty. "Apparently, she has a unique approach to xenobiology." Vex Thor's mandibles clicked sharply. Unique. Yes, uniquely suicidal. On the screen, Leora stopped before the reinforced door. Through the polarized window, they could see Rin, a juvenile Vorix, no bigger than an earth tiger, but infinitely deadlier. Her obsidian scales absorbed light, making her appear as a living shadow. Crystalline spines ran along her back, each one capable of firing like a ballistic missile. Her 6 legs ended in retractable claws that could slice through steel plating. The previous handlers had learned that lesson fatally well. Rin prowled her enclosure, her 4 amber eyes tracking every shadow, every movement. The psychological profile was clear: extreme territorial aggression, pathological mistrust, and a prey drive that made her attack anything that showed fear. The Vorix species had evolved on a death world where hesitation meant extinction. "Open the door," Leora said calmly into her comm. "Absolutely not." Vex Thor barked. "You need to review the protocols, study the behavioral patterns, consult with Commander. With respect, I've read the files. Every handler who died followed your protocols perfectly. Maybe that's the problem." Her voice was patient but firm. "Please open the door." Vex Thor's scales flushed purple with frustration, but something in the human's tone made him hesitate. Perhaps it was confidence. Perhaps it was the quiet certainty of someone who had faced death before and found it unimpressive. "On your head be it," he muttered, initiating the unlock sequence. The door hissed open. Leora stepped through without hesitation. That Rin's reaction was immediate. The Vorix cub dropped into a hunting crouch, a low rumble emanating from somewhere deep in her chest, a sound like grinding stone. Her spines began to glow faintly, preparing to fire. Every being on the observation deck held their breath. Leora did something unprecedented. She sat down, just dropped cross-legged onto the floor, 2 meters inside the door, and began rummaging through her backpack. That Rin's growl intensified. She crept forward, muscles coiling for the killing strike. "The human has frozen in fear," Daleth whispered. "The Vorix will interpret this as shoo." Someone hissed. Leora pulled something from her bag, a bright pink bow, the kind human children wore in their hair. She held it up, examining it critically in the harsh containment lights, completely ignoring the apex predator stalking toward her. Rin stopped. Confusion rippled across her scaled face. "Now, I know what you're thinking," Leora said conversationally, still not making eye contact. "You're thinking, this creature entered my territory, so I should probably kill it. That's fair. That's the Vorix way, right? But here's the thing, sweetheart. And you are a sweetheart. Don't let anyone tell you different. You've been going about this all wrong." The cub tilted her head, a gesture remarkably similar to a confused earth dog. "See, those other handlers? They came in here scared. They came in with stun weapons and containment protocols and the energy of someone expecting a fight. So you gave them one. Can't blame you for that." Leora finally looked up, meeting Rin's eyes directly, something the protocols explicitly forbade. "But I'm not here to fight you, princess." Vex Thor nearly fell out of his command chair. "Did she just—" "She called it princess," Daleth confirmed, tentacles frozen in shock. Rin took another step forward, close enough now that Leora could see the ridges of old scars across the cub's snout, the slight malformation of one spine where it had healed incorrectly. Close enough to kill in a single pounce. Leora held up the bow again. "See this? This is yours. Because you know what I see when I look at you? Not a monster. Not a weapon. I see a scared kid who's been locked in a box and treated like a bomb waiting to explode." The Vorix cub's growl faded to silence. I'm going to stand up now, Leora said softly. And I'm going to come closer. And if you want to kill me, that's your choice. But I don't think that's what you really want. She rose slowly, bow still held loosely in one hand. Step by step, she approached the creature that had torn apart 3 trained handlers in armor. Rin's eyes tracked every movement. But the predatory tension had shifted into something else. Something like curiosity. When Leora reached touching distance, she did the impossible. She reached out and gently pressed her hand to the side of Rin's face, just below her jaw. The observation deck erupted in shouting. Rin leaned into the touch. "There's my good girl," Leora whispered. "There's my princess." With practiced ease, as if adorning a beloved pet rather than an apex predator, Leora attached the pink bow to one of Rin's smaller spines, positioning it like a crown between her ears. The cub rumbled, not a threat this time, but something almost like a purr. "Here's what we're going to do," Leora continued, scratching along Rin's jawline. "We're going to get you out of this miserable box. We're going to find you proper enrichment. And we're going to teach these well-meaning but clueless aliens that predators don't need to be broken. They need to be understood." Rin's tail swished. The Vorix equivalent of contentment. 3 hours later, Leora sat in Commander Vexthor's office. Rin curled at her feet, pink bow still perched on her head. "I don't understand," the commander admitted, all bluster drained from his voice. "How did you know it would work?" Leora smiled, reaching down to scratch behind Rin's crystalline spines. "Commander, humans have been domesticating things that could kill us for thousands of years. Wolves, big cats, bears. We even kept dinosaurs as pets after we brought them back. The secret isn't dominance or fear. It's recognizing that even the deadliest creatures just want to be seen." She looked up, her expression gentle but firm. "You all saw a monster. I saw a lonely child. That's the difference." Rin rumbled softly, pressing her massive head against Leora's leg. "Also," Leora added with a grin, "never underestimate the universal power of being called princess." Outside the window, the stars wheeled on, and the galaxy learned once again why humans, improbable and fragile as they were, had a peculiar talent for befriending the unbefriendable. Sometimes, the most dangerous creatures in the universe just needed someone brave enough to give them a bow and a nickname.